Not going to see the CHP pull off of this at all.
Today, caught on camera, a pursuit suspect leads law enforcement on a wild chase from East LA to Malibu. But he's not alone inside that silver Chrysler. 3 young kidnapped children are also inside.
We know that CHP can be aggressive, but when there's children in play, it's a different ball game.
KTLA Sky 5 is over every dangerous mile as authorities work to bring this ordeal to an end, hopefully before it's too late.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Oh no! Oh my gosh!
Oh no! There's a crash.
This is Caught on Camera. August 29th, 2025. A calm late summer Friday along the California coast. But as the long Labor Day weekend kicks off, that calm is soon shattered by the terrifying pursuit of a kidnapping suspect.
It started with the East LA sheriffs. They tried to get behind the vehicle and pull it over. Now the original call came out as a kidnapping from the area of Olympic in Arizona in East LA. The sheriffs got behind the vehicle, tried to pull it over, and it took off on those deputies. So now they've handed over to the CHP because it got on the 10 freeway from downtown LA and it's continued on the 10 here into Santa Monica. So we're approaching the California Incline and PCH. So we'll see which way the vehicle will go. It's going into the tunnel right now. And we'll see what happens at this point if they try to do a pit maneuver. They've talked about that already, and they also talked about a spike strip. But at this point, we're just waiting to see what the CHP decides to do as it continues on here as it comes out of the tunnel. There it is there, northbound on PCH or westbound on PCH. And they are talking about spike strips and they are talking about pit maneuvers. So we'll see if they will have that opportunity to do one or the other or both as this pursuit continues here up the PCH.
Yeah, I would imagine that pretty soon that driver is going to hit a wall of traffic. I mean, Labor Day weekend traffic at this time of night, it's probably packed all over Los Angeles, and that's right about Temescal is when it really starts to get jammed. Are you seeing that further up ahead?
I'm trying to look out the window. Yeah, Court, I'm trying to look out there. It looks like this driver has some open traffic for a while. So surprisingly, I'm pretty shocked to see that there's pretty light traffic up ahead, at least for the next 2 miles. But we'll see what happens if it continues up into Malibu and the traffic gets worse up there.
You know, what's really concerning is that the CHP is considering a pit maneuver when, from the reports that we're getting, there are 3 children inside this car, ages 8, 6, and 1. I mean, they're conflicting reports right now, so we're still trying to get that, confirmed. But those were the initial reports that came out, that this is a kidnapping of 3 children, all under the age of 9 years old. And to do a pit maneuver would seem a little bit aggressive, and we know that the CHP can be aggressive, but when there's children in play, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, absolutely, Sherry. That's probably a consideration once the CHP learned that there could be as many as 2 or 3 children in the vehicle. They may not. They may rule that out. So you don't know if those children are seatbelted in. They have a car seat for them or not. They could just be loosely sitting in the seats in there. So a pit maneuver would not be the best idea. A spike strip certainly would be a good idea to try to bring this to an end. But for now, on PCH, you can see how many lanes there are here, and it might be a difficult task for law enforcement to get a spike strip out in front of them safely.
Well, also, we're heading up to the Palisades fire damage, and that right lane, the far right lane, is going to be blocked off just due to construction. But did that car run the stoplight? Because it kind of seemed like that was the case, unless he just had a faster approach to it with the other cars not going forward because they were stopped.
Yeah, for sure. It's been running red lights. Early on in the pursuit, it was doing that in East LA. Went through downtown LA doing the same thing. So there was erratic driving involved. Once it got on the freeway, though, it kind of slowed down a little bit. went with the flow of traffic, and we're seeing that now here on the California, I'm sorry, on the Pacific Coast Highway.
The pursuit package continues to grow as the silver Chrysler speeds down PCH, a driver and 3 children inside. Meantime, questions mount about who this kidnapping suspect is.
We don't know if it's a male or female that abducted these children. We can tell you, though, that CHP right now is talking about the children. They could see the children in the car, so that kind of indicates that from their perspective, from the rear view window there, they can see the heads of the kids. So they might be walking around, or not walking, but moving around inside the vehicle, not seatbelted in. So certainly a pit maneuver would be ruled out in this case for sure. So I think at this point the CHP is content with staying behind the vehicle, and hopefully the person driving will just pull over and surrender. But a spike strip will definitely help that decision. And once those tires go flat, they will maybe rethink what's going on. Here's a close look. We obviously tinted windows all the way around. It looks like there might be, through the sunroof there might be a child there. It's hard to say, but those are heavily tinted windows there. But again, out wide here, you can see continuing up the PCH here and CHP and trail.
You got to wonder what's going through those children's heads. There's cop cars with sirens and lights behind them. We just hope that the driver makes the right decision and pulls over for the sake of their children.
Well, I'm actually quite surprised that there's no traffic on PCH right now. On this Labor Day weekend, we've been seeing a lot of heavy traffic, and I'm sure you have as well, Gil, from Sky 5. And as they make their way north here on PCH, it looks like he's the only one on the road. It's almost as if it isn't a holiday weekend.
The Chrysler containing those 3 abducted kids has an open road, not an obstacle in sight for miles. Well, at least not yet. As the procession makes its way into Malibu, the sun goes down and the speeds pick up. Can officers find a way to stop this driver and save those kidnapped kids? Find out when Caught on Camera returns.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Oh no.
Sky 5 back over Pacific Coast Highway, where that Chrysler continues to evade authorities. The speeds of the chase getting faster, but the pace of new information is comparatively slow. What we do now know is that the driver is a male. The state of those 3 abducted children, however, remains unknown.
My fear is where this driver is going, and hopefully stays on the road, because there are some winding, steep areas that this man could drive off of if he chose to. We don't know his mental state right now, whether he's under the influence. Definitely an anxiety-inducing situation for us watching, especially parents out there thinking about what these kids, possibly ages 8, 6, and 1, could be going through right now.
As if a pursuit isn't a surreal phenomenon on its own, Sky 5 pulls out to reveal the scorched coastline. Home after home after home ravaged and leveled by January's wildfires. Meantime, concerns grow about how to bring this chase to an end while keeping the young passengers safe.
We rarely see a circumstance where the CHP might box in a vehicle. That might be an option in this case to avoid any kind of injury to the kids inside. So that's a possibility if it's known that this person is not carrying a weapon of any sort and can endanger officers that they were to surround the vehicle on either side or all sides of the vehicle. So, but that's a possibility to box in the vehicle. I don't think they're going to use the pit maneuver, although the speeds are right currently to do that, although conditions on the road may not be. But again, they don't want to injure the kids inside the vehicle with the pit maneuver. So I would say the spike strip would probably be the best option. And certainly in this type of environment here with 1 or 2 lanes that is narrowed down to, it's certainly an option for the officers or even the Sheriff's Department. Since we're moving into Malibu, the Sheriff's Department might assist to try to get a spike strip up ahead and get those tires punctured. That'll change the profile of this pursuit completely.
Sky 5 circles around front and pushes in tight to get a view inside the car and a sign of life from one of the 3 abducted children.
There you go.
Yeah, there is definitely somebody in the passenger seat. It looks like could be a boy. Gosh, I mean, you just...
There you go.
Oh yeah, you
Might
can
be
see it looks like
terrified.
a son
Definitely
there.
looks like a child.
Then some clarity, a stomach-churning update from the news desk about what instigated this dangerous pursuit. Is it a domestic dispute where one of the parents made off with the kids? Is it a teen on a joyride, their siblings in the car? No, it's far worse.
We're hearing from our assignment desk that the vehicle was left the vehicle was left running with the children in it,
Oh,
and
no.
someone jumped in
Oh, my
and
gosh.
stole the vehicle.
No.
So it's a carjacking, basically.
Oh,
The
my
vehicle's
gosh.
running, and just someone jumped in and took over the car. So that's definitely
that's even
a
worse.
concern. You're not
is
going to see
terrifying.
the CHP pull off of this at all. They
No way.
absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I have goosebumps right now. Just now, that's the children in there. And then where was the mother or father of the car? And remember, you're not supposed to leave your children alone in a vehicle, primarily for this reason that someone could do that.
Wow, this is, I mean, this just put this on a whole nother level. You know, there is a man that has carjacked a car with 3 children inside. You see that there is an older child in the front seat who is, you know, a passenger to a man he does not know, who has taken this car along with his siblings in the back seat, and now all of a sudden went from East LA and now in Malibu with 5 CHP cruisers behind them, and they are not going to let up. They're going to stay on this car, even though this car is driving at, you know, mid-range. It's not driving erratically. Nonetheless, this is a dangerous situation. We do not know if this man who decided to carjack this car with children in it that are not his own is armed. You know, why did he decide to carjack this car? I mean, it is just terrifying.
Is he in his right state of mind? Did he even notice there were children in the car? And then also there's the question, if the oldest child is 8, why is that child in the front seat? And what is going through the minds of those children? They must be so scared. And then in addition, there's a mother or father who left the car running at, if it was a store, or maybe just ran back in the house if it was at the corner of Olympic in Arizona. Maybe they were preparing to leave on a Labor Day weekend trip or something and just ran back in the house to get something, and there was just the perfect opportunity for someone to steal a car who maybe didn't know there were children in there. But it's just so scary for those children and the parents of the children.
Yeah, you can only imagine how terrified the mother is, who's probably watching this right now, you know, watching the coverage here, as she knows her children are in there. And we were able to get a look at the front of the car and into the car to see that there was a boy in the front seat there, who's now sitting next to this stranger who took this car with him in it and his siblings. And I'm sure that he's trying to negotiate with him as well. You know, hey, listen, let us out.
The growing motorcade of CHP vehicles snakes its way up PCH in pursuit of the suspected kidnapping carjacker. It's 7:32 p.m., almost an hour since the suspect first jumped into the running car at 7-Eleven on East Olympic in South Arizona. The Chrysler is traveling at relatively moderate speeds, between 30 and 50 miles per hour. It's now 7:33 p.m., and without explanation, everything changes. The car picks up speed, now in excess of 80, 90 miles per hour, the danger increasing with every inch of roadway.
Here we are at 90 miles an hour. He's really ramped it up, and now it's a speed issue, a danger issue that way. Let me come out wide so we see what's ahead. But two lanes in both directions, and the double yellows in the middle. Here he comes up to an intersection. We know early on in the pursuit the driver was running stop signs and red lights, so that's not beyond the driver at this point to start doing that again. But certainly a concern when the speed ramps up and the sunroof opens up.
For sure. I wonder how close they are to getting the spike strip out.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Oh no! Oh my gosh!
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
no! There's a crash.
Oh no!
Oh no. That was so shocking. I hope the kids are okay.
gosh. I wonder how close they are to getting the spike strip out.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Oh no! Oh my gosh!
Oh my
Oh no!
gosh.
There's a crash.
Oh no!
Oh no.
A high-speed crash on PCH brings the pursuit of a carjacking, kidnapping suspect to an end. But that doesn't mean this thing is over just yet.
There's a runner right there.
Oh my God.
And
That's the
CHP,
suspect.
Wow.
right after that person, they're going to take him into custody on that slope. Hold here, Rick, if you can. They're going to try to get him into custody. He's climbing up. He was able to get away from the CHP, and now he's up into this property. Oh boy, I was in tight when the TC happened, or the crash happened. Here he is running.
There he is running.
And changing his shirt.
Oh my gosh!
It's an adult male, and he's tossed his shirt away.
Yeah,
He's
we
going to
see
continue
you.
to run here. This is,
He's barefoot.
oh boy.
Are there is the police chopper up as well, or are there other helicopters, or is it just you, Gil?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That crash was really
I know.
No, it's
something.
He was going so fast.
I hope those kids
Wow.
are okay
I know. And the other person that
as well.
that-
the person that,
that he hit.
Yeah. I mean, definitely you had some.
is he running towards the ocean?
Is he headed for the ocean? Is he headed for some tall brush? We don't know the barefoot suspect's next move, and it appears he may not either.
He obviously doesn't know where he's running to. Barefoot through the brush, and pure adrenaline right now. It's unbelievable that this guy's even able to run after that dramatic crash.
The suspect struggles to hop a fence, getting caught up in the barbed wire as he nears homes in the Malibu hillside, before continuing to stroll, disrobing further along the way.
He keeps on shedding clothes here. We have no shoes. We had him shed a jacket, and now he's shed his shirt as he's going through this wooded area here in Malibu after that horrific crash.
Yeah.
And have we
he's
heard
moving.
anything about the kids? Are they okay?
And with that, Sky 5 repositions, heading back to the scene of the crash on PCH and Canaan Doom Road, where one of 3 children is out of the car and being tended to.
That's the kid
Maybe
that
the
was in the
parent?
front seat.
Hard to
Yeah,
say.
that's probably the 8-year-old.
Oh no, it looks like they're trying to break open the car for the other children.
This is good, Rick. Yeah, so I think this one here is the younger child,
Oh, that
maybe.
poor baby.
The front seat looked like the older child, right? And they're trying to get that
Okay.
one out. I don't know if the third one was brought out already, but they're
We-
trying to extricate him from that front seat. Looks like the airbags did go off.
We got information from our news desk, from our assignment desk, that 2 juveniles are breathing and okay. We do see one of them. He's obviously traumatized after that crash. That car that he was in was going very fast when he hit and T-boned the other car that was coming southbound on PCH before the suspect, the carjacker, who carjacked this car with 3 children inside. Are there 3 children or just 2?
Thank you.
I hope that. Oh no, they're going with the
Well, we'll
sheet.
find
So
out
far,
in a
2.
minute.
They're looking in the back seat.
Okay, the sheet is not a good sign.
Hey, Rick, look at our
Oh,
shot.
Unless they're just covering the glass there.
Pole's in the way. So there's. here comes the fire department to the paramedics to check out that child. He's moving around. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
He's
But,
could be in pain though.
Yeah, Rick, if we can reposition, that pole's right in the way. Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
so they
we're going
are
to try to get
saying-
that pole out of the shot here. In the meantime,
They are saying that there are 3
Yeah.
juveniles conscious and breathing. So that's very good news, at least to hear that. That's what they're saying on the scanner.
The extraction efforts continue. After a few heart-pounding moments, first responders pull a toddler out in a car seat.
This is the most intense ending
and
to
the
a
child in
pursuit.
the front's coming out now.
There we go.
That could be
They're
the
walking.
7 or 8 year
A
old.
little shaken up there, definitely, but he's walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to lay him
All right.
down.
Wow. What an experience. What a terrible, terrible, terrible experience that they had to go through, and to be in that car with that stranger as well, who just started to pick up that speed. And as soon as he started to go 90 miles per hour, you knew that something was going to happen here on PCH, and it did. But thank God those kids are alive, they're conscious, they're breathing.
After a weekend receiving treatment for their injuries, the 3 brothers, revealed to be 2, 7, and 9, are released from the hospital.
It feels so good because I know the kids were scared and like coming to, they didn't know what happened. They just found themselves in their hospital and mom's stress, and the family just had to take all of this in stride. So it feels so good to have them out of the hospital.
The boy's cousin revealing what the experience was like inside the car.
He got agitated and he was telling the kids to throw stuff out of the sunroof to try to lose the police because he wasn't aware that the helicopters were following him, and he was just really aggressive.
Their father also treated for injuries as he was in a nearby car when the carjacking took place in East LA. He reportedly attempted to grab the steering wheel from the suspect, but was dragged a short distance and unable to prevent the crime.
He did his best to grab onto the steering wheel to stop the car, but unfortunately he wasn't able to last.
But what of the suspect? As of November 2025, Long Cheng is still behind bars, being held on a $3.2 million bail. According to the LA County District Attorney's Office, the 36-year-old faces 3 felony counts of kidnapping during a carjacking, each charge carrying a penalty of life in state prison. Cheng also faces charges of felony carjacking, assault with a deadly weapon, fleeing a pursuing peace officer while driving recklessly, and attempted carjacking. The bulk of those charges and the terrifying pursuit caught on camera.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness.
Oh no! Oh my gosh!
Oh my
Oh no,
gosh.
there's a crash.